Here we go live. So welcome everyone to Lay 5's website meeting. Today is 5th of June. And if you got an agenda, feel free to toss it in as an item. And if you have webcams, feel free to turn it on. It's a nice way of communicating with face and voice. So I'm just taking a quick glance at the participants list and I see two newcomers, Dara and Rokad. So anyone of you would like to give a quick introduction? And couple of, I guess, note taker bots are also on the call today. So welcome. Hi Dara, would like to introduce?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dara. This is G from Nigeria. I'm a full stack developer. I contributed in the front end a while ago, so I'll be here to listen and also learn.
That's great. Nice to have you in the call, Dara.
All right.
So next up we have Rocket Fonji. So hi Rocket, is this your first time joining this call? Would like to introduce?
Yeah. Hi guys. Am I audible?
Yep, you are.
Yeah. I think with that, I'm not a new app per se. I've been like on and off. So I've been here for a while, though I've not been able to contribute though. I guess at this time I'm going to get my hands on some coding actually. So my background is actually full stack, but mostly on the front end with Angular. So I'm here just to listen for now.
Oh,
Highly.
Man, wow. I was a much younger man the last time that I heard your voice. You've been on and off the calls though. Sometimes I refer to you as a good example of somebody that might not be able to actively participate, like verbally on the calls, but will join anyway just to participate, right? Just to absorb and get to know people. And I use you as an example of like, hey, that's something you can, something for people to feel comfortable doing. Like there's a lot to learn just by hanging out. And so anyway, it's good to hear your voice. Yeah. So Angular, huh? That's been the thing. All right. Fair enough. There's a lot of React that flies around here. So we might have to have you spend some time with it. Have you spent time with React at all, or has it been strictly Angular?
Just Angular though I've been wanting to learn Go actually. So if you have something on Go, yeah, I will be glad to take a look. Yeah.
Do we have something on Go? But I tell you, man, we've got yeah, sure. We'll just there's a lot actually. Yeah. That's a good. I'll keep my eye out. I'll probably point out a couple while we're on the call. So
okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great. Nice to have you on the call, Fonji. So we have gathered a decent list of agenda items today. So let's get rolling. So first up on top of the list, we have an update from Raj or Shivam on edit this page link in the footer. So Raj is not on the call. So Shivam would like to explain this a bit or discuss.
Yeah, sure. So actually, this was a task that Raj took up to add the edit this page link in the footer of every page. We were facing some challenges regarding this. The main challenge was how to pass the page URLs to from each and every page to the footer component, because the footer component was enclosed in a layout component. So we had some discussion, mainly Ritik, Randy and Nikhil contributed on this issue, uh, providing reviews to Raj. And so he has come up with a good PR that that solves the issue. And there have also been some reviews, and I guess he'll be working on these issues, on the reviews that have been presented to him. So this is all about the PR.
All right. So from last call, what I remember is we were huddling up on that where this edit this page should be linked. So are we all right with this position for this particular button, edit this page over here in the footer, or are we still looking for a new position for this?
Who has opinions? Yeah, good. Well, good. Well, so anyone on the call is welcome to have an opinion about this. It looks like, so this particular site, just like the other sites that we have, they're open source and they're built by all of you. And this one gets a lot of time spent on it because it is an umbrella site that represents all of the work. It's also pretty well done. A lot of blood, sweat, and bickering has brought us to how good it looks right now. Anyway, so please express your opinion, and particularly if it differs from something that I might say, that makes it even more interesting. And so there might be a couple of issues with the phrasing of what's written here, how it's visually represented, and where it's placed. As a matter of fact, the entire thing might just be completely wrong. So I don't know. Consider this. By the way, who am I giving the feedback to? They're not on the call.
Yeah,
Shivam?
Raj is not on the call.
Okay.
I'll communicate
Yeah,
whatever.
Raj
Okay.
said he will be watching the live stream recording later on.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that makes it even more fun because it's like I get to talk about him behind his back when he's not here, and then, but I get to say that I said it in front of his face if he's going to watch it later. So it's like he's not here to defend himself. What a great thing! This is beautiful. So, at face on the surface of it, he did great. Like there's an empty space here. He fit in this new capability to encourage people to, well, it's not a new capability, but he fit in this new link to encourage people to edit the page that they're on. So if they, most commonly, it's like if someone finds a bug, usually that's when they might look for an edit to see if they can help out, or consider that there might be a couple of issues here. One, is this a heading, the get involved? I think so, but it seems distinct from the other headings. The other headings have white space beneath them and they're all capital letters. Okay, so maybe it's not a heading. Okay, maybe it's just a call to get involved. Oh, okay, great. How many ways can you get involved? Well, you can edit the page. Well, that's it, huh? There's no other way of getting involved with what we do here. That couldn't possibly be right. So that seems to misrepresent how to get involved. Okay, well, okay. All right. Yeah, anyway, moving on. I mean, this must be super special, though, something that we really want everybody to do, because it's the only one that has an icon next to it that, conveys what it might be. And so this thing is amazing. It's the only heading that gets its own link. So it's like a section all for just that one link. It's different in 3 different ways that I just mentioned from all the other links. Wow. I better visit this thing. I don't, So anyway, someone might think that, or they might just click the link. They might not think any of that stuff. But that's all kind of good, or those are things to consider. There's one other thing to consider, to the extent that you could push back on any of those statements that were just made. I mean, I think to have a complete monologue with myself and to argue back and say, well, I don't know who this sarcastic guy thinks he is, but it is different. This one isn't saying, come learn about our community, come get involved in come to our events, come, read our resources or learn about our projects. This one's saying, hey, this page right here, click here and you can edit it. Maybe this is a little bit different. Maybe this isn't quite the same as the rest. It's like, well, yeah, maybe there is a GitHub link up above where you can edit any of these. I mean, we call for on any number of the other pages, we directly give long paragraphs saying, come and contribute, and here's how you can do it. Like, so it's not a thing unto its own, but it is distinct. I mean, but it does take you to the source code of this particular page. It is a little bit of behind the scenes. It's kind of different. Anyway, to the extent that it is, I think that there was some discussion that perhaps this fit pretty well under the horizontal line at the very, very bottom of the footer. I don't know that it fits there well very visually, but having it as a link that's segregated might help with convey part of the fact that it is a little bit different. Like, I don't know that any of the rest of these links, if you were to click on any of them, I don't know that you would be directed to a site other than something at layer5.io, other than the site that you're on. So this one is distinct in that it takes you to an external URL, and that it does assume that, well, that you are comfortable with Markdown, or that you're a contributor, that you're a coder. So it is distinct. It does deserve some amount, it does deserve its own. Yeah, and so Noreen might have some thoughts.
I just, I'm thinking that maybe if we have edit this page on left side, and it may not even need get involved heading. So as it's saying, it edit the page. So it describes that we're gonna edit the page. So maybe we don't need to get involved a separate heading on that. And if we put it on the left, then it may be aligned like with the, that subscription email address. And there will be some space in between.
Right. Yeah. So you're kind of reinforcing, I think, two suggestions. One is that, hey, this isn't the only way to get involved, is what I was, and you're also saying, hey, it's so very well named that it is precisely what it is. Edit this page, so it doesn't necessarily need a label. And then so you're reinforcing one of the points. The second point that you're reinforcing is that that perhaps it does deserve its own, to be placed unto its own, or it sort of stands unto its own. And so, yeah, that resonates. Who else? So any number of you, and so Avantika has some thoughts.
Hey, I think that get involved could still be like a good way to keep the information relevant here. And instead of just having edit this page, there was another website that you had shared the last time. I think it was like GitLabs perhaps, that had like a hyphen. So it's almost like a breadcrumb for, so like, you can say like join our community, which takes you to instructions of how you can join the community, hyphen something else, hyphen edit this page. So there's a couple of different things you can do. And then you also have edit your page there. And then you remove, icons and everything so that it sort of stays consistent with the rest of the site. Yeah.
if we do have a second, and we might do well just to Shivam to visit gitlab.com. It is, well, at the moment for me, it's the only other corporate website that I know of that has an edit this page on it. Well, I have seen it on a couple of other company sites, but not one nearly so big as GitLab. And GitLab is a completely open source company. So they have this view page source, okay, edit this page, and please contribute. So Avantika was sort of highlighting the please contribute. And that takes you to their contributing.md. So that's on GitLab. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be funny if that was on GitHub? But that's on GitLab. Is the first page source, is that GitLab or is that? Yeah, and I guess so probably the difference here is, yeah, I'm just surprised. Are those two links different, the edit this page and the page source? I don't know why we're spending time on this. Yeah, they're slightly different. Yeah, one fear though, so they have specific instructions for how to contribute in a code way for this particular site, because it's the contributing.md for this particular site. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you direct it just to the code, you might not be sure if you're supposed to fork it or what you're supposed to do. But so the issue is that's something. So I'm trying to convey a positive sentiment toward maybe there is a helpful second link to maybe further explain, edit this page. The other thing though about the get involved, it'd almost be funny if it just said get involved. But yeah, okay. But I don't know. But if it does say get involved and it's just that link or those two links, does it still suggest that that's the only way to get involved? That does it miscategorize all of what's under like community then? There's a writing program, there's an internship program, there's discussion forum, there's events you can join, there's meetings to, I don't know, just placing it out there. Who else has thoughts while we spend 30 minutes on just a link? Check. Yeah. Darren's got a point. They may not see it. And it's like, yeah, well, shoot. Oh, well. Or like there's something that they have to overlook. Or Darren's you're correct, I think. And they may not see it. And it's like, yeah, it's a shame. For those, I think what it ends up doing, the primary purpose of this is one, to help communicate that we are through and through open source, but that also it can be occasionally convenient for those of us that are on the call that notice something and are in the moment want to go fix it. That if we become aware that there is an edit this page, to Darren's point, maybe we wouldn't readily see it. Only after we've been here a little while would we maybe know. That it can be helpful in that moment. The other moment in which it can be helpful is when there's, one of you opens up an issue on GitHub and you describe the fact that this page needs to change in this way. And a contributor comes along and says, well, I'd love to work on that. But what, where's the source for that? Or like hopefully this would help cut down on some of that. This is the other thought. Well, good. Well, that stuff, I guess, things for Raj to take into consideration.
All right. Some great feedback. Do mention your feedback on Raj's PR. I've shared the link if anyone got. So next up, we have Shivam's item on build, issue, fix, and regarding migration to webp. Shivam would like to share.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having problems completing your request. Please try again.
Yeah. So recently we migrated to webp images. We changed all the JPG or PNG images used on the website. to .webp format. This was done to provide a better site performance and better loading times for the website. And this was backed by research from Ayush. And so he opened up an issue, and Akash worked on this issue. It was a really impactful PR. So we took some time to review so that we don't have any issues, but still we got some issues. So the build was failing because it was mainly due to the integration spreadsheet that was updating the integration docs. So for some of insights for some of you, we have a spreadsheet that updates some documents on the website. To make changes to those documents, we directly edit from the spreadsheet, and a workflow is runs every 24 hours, and the workflow updates the documents on the website. So what was happening is that in that spreadsheet, there were some links provided that were sourcing .png images. So that's why the build was failing, because we had removed the PNG images, but it was still being asked for by the integration updates. So I just added those images. There were only 4 of them. So I added back the PNG images. This was done to quickly fix the build. But what I suggest would be a better option is to override all the PNG images used in spreadsheet to the web images for some reasons that include, so that we have consistency, and so that like none we directly use the web images, we don't mess with the PNG images. So this was the issue that we were facing. So now it's solved, and yeah, I suggest that we update the spreadsheet as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
Yeah. Who created those things anyway? Oh, wait, never mind. Okay. Yeah. Well, so some of those you created originally, is that right? Or
which
is that?
one?
Oh, I thought maybe you had originally created a couple of those, which just made me think, yeah, you're in complete control there. But I guess you didn't. But yeah, moving to WebP, I think your proposal was, and Ayush's proposal has been, let's move to WebP. It's a more efficient, image format, and there's a couple of good reasons. So we're broadly doing that. But the specific thing that you were saying is, hey, we have to be careful for, broken image links as we go to change. And I missed the second part.
Yeah, we changed to WebP images. This PR was merged, so now all the images are WebP on the website. But the problem was with the integrations, that integration spreadsheet that was updating the index.mdx files for the integrations. So there we were using 2 or 3 PNG images. So I added those to fix the build quickly. But I think we should change those PNG images to .web images inside the spreadsheet as well.
Yeah. Wait. I'm sorry, man, for I'm sorry. I need to have more coffee. Which spreadsheet is the integration spreadsheet is tracking links to PNGs? Oh, for the animated GIFs, or?
No, not the animated GIFs. The integrations descriptions that are being written. There we have a slider that includes 2 or 3. Here I'll. Yeah. So these are 2 images.
Oh, I see.
That are.
Okay. Yeah.
So these are being written in .png extension in the spreadsheet. So we should change them to .webp.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, good. Yeah. You've done a ton of work inside of that spreadsheet. So, right, you're pretty comfortable with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who merged the 2,888 file change PR? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
I did.
Yeah,
We
good.
discussed on for the last
Great.
2 weeks. We discussed that.
Yeah, no, amazing. I mean, I had no idea that that even happened. And that what an amazing thing. That's such a cool thing. Is I don't need to be involved, and you guys are quite responsible, and you're taking care of, like, you know, a change of that magnitude. You might expect a couple of hiccups here and there, and you guys, and you're taking care of them and proposing the permanent solution and stuff. And so, awesome. Wow. Yeah, what a Ayush, Mr. Sharma. I can't, hopefully you'll share with everyone how much this was worth it, and like how much of an
I
impact.
think I think I will provide the update on how much this has improved the site performance.
All right.
Provide the update but I don't currently have the stats. So maybe in the next meeting I will definitely provide.
Cool. All right, Shivam. It was a nice update. Let's.
I just wanted to ask one more thing. Will we expect the same thing in the Meshri.io website too for the integration? Like there's an open PR for the changing the PNG images to the web page. So if we move forward with merging in them, will there be much conflict there too? The build will be failing there too, since we also include the integration part there.
Well, actually, there the PNG images are already present, but if we are to change the format to the 2 or 3 images that are being used inside the integrations to the webp format, so we'll have to add them to Meshri.io website as well.
Yeah, okay, because I've already mentioned in the agenda items. Gaurav, we could just go through it. The requesting review with the much conflict. 1158.
Which one? One. Okay.
Yeah, this one. Right now it has the much conflicts, and he also mentioned about the performance changes that we'll be expecting there.
All right. Thanks for bringing this up, Karan. So let's move to next item. That's from Avantika and Vishwas on suggestions regarding playground pop-up. So Avantika, Vishwas, anyone would like to share?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so we have a decision to make. Currently, we have 2 pop-ups. The one right now we're using is this. And the one I suggested was this because this one changes, by the way. So the original would not change as fast as this, but it will, like, I think something like 6 seconds for one screen would be good. So what I'm suggesting it, so in this pop-up, like, it's a good, like, design wise, but like the information is quite unclear. Like, I think we can like expand on each of these items, and that's what I've done in the new pop-up. So if you want to compare them side by side. So basically the new version I'm suggesting is gonna expand on each one of these, like each one of these headings. So I needed opinions on what do you think is better? Like which one should we go ahead with?
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have feedback?
Just to give a brief, both of these pop-ups are like giving info about Meshri. So this pop-up's explaining more about what we can do in it. And the new version is basically it goes through all the features we have and expands on them. So we have some text here. So we can expand on like what is exploring CNCF projects. Whereas in this, it's just showing a text. And yeah, that's it about that.
All right. Well, here's some feedback. Avantika, I'm hoping that according to our brand guide, we don't allow changing of the Meshri logo color. we should double check that. That seems like a clear violation. we don't anyway. The other thing is so great. So I think folks would all hopefully agree that this new presentation is it's an improvement on the information architecture. It's an improvement for the ease by which people can digest, the message. It is a bit different in that there's a couple of things. It might not be that this is content complete. If it is, there's a couple of pieces of feedback on the content. So we're not like selling CNCF, or even if we're quote unquote selling like the fact that you can modify all of the CNCF projects, that's good. And that's quite awesome that's a capability of the playground. And we can certainly we certainly do want to tell people about that. But we wouldn't do it just by showing them the CNCF logo, because it just looks like we're telling them, here's the CNCF, or go know the CNCF. Or instead, what we need to say is like, here's 220 plus integrations, all of them having to do with CNCF projects. Or they can still, the core, like the logo and the message, or the logo of the CNCF can still be in there, but it needs to be augmented with a slightly different message. We've turned this from a single message into 3 messages. And so if you scroll to the bottom of the 3 messages, is there then a call to action? Okay, so there's no, yeah, and I guess actually now that I just said that, Avantika, I think just said the same thing. There's no call to action that, what to do. There isn't good justification for the color change to the John Doe and Shivam Kumar that might have just been accidental. So if we could continue with the same colors, that would maintain consistency across where we use this same visual in other places on the site. This not only have we changed it from 1 message to 3 rotating messages, which is, onto its own, 3 rotating messages isn't bad. It's just that I don't know that we expect people to read 3 different messages. Moreover, what we're trying to do is it's a single advert. Basically, it's a single call to action. The entire thing is a call to action. It's just like, you need this, click here, or this is intriguing, click here, come play, don't make a mess or something. Anyway, Vishwas, the premise upon which you started this improvement is entirely well-founded. Like, this graphic suffers in exactly the way that you've highlighted, which is, it looks kind of cool. I don't really know what it's telling me, but but it looks kind of cool. I still don't know what it's telling me. So you're absolutely onto something. The more that you see, if you can get back to a single message with a clear call to action. And maybe implicit in your mind was the fact that there might be a yellow button underneath each of these 3 modals.
Yeah, there was a CTA. Like, I was just like messing around, and I wanted to like convey the whole information thing, so I like made them really fast. But yeah, they'll have a CTA when it's final. I think I'm gonna like mess around with this, and probably maybe I was thinking we can have a design like this, and it will show 3 options, but it will switch on this side, maybe on the right side, and on the left side maybe the menu will still be there. Something like that. I'll try around.
Cool. Yeah. So that then there would be 4 things that people can do with that, right?
Yeah, there would be 3 options in one CTA. Correct.
Okay. Yep. Nice. All right. Also, do you have a mobile view for this proposed change?
I currently do not, but yeah.
Okay. Something to bear in mind as you iterate. other people might have a different opinion, but I certainly agree that that we can do better than what we currently have. That what we currently have is, intriguing to the extent that it's confusing, probably. So, anybody else have feedback?
Yeah, just a quick question here. I think it's again just pertaining to information. Since there's so much information, is there anything that's unnecessary that can be removed so that there's more room to highlight something? Just create a little more hierarchy?
Yeah, that's a great question. And to me, it seems like we could have 3 individual or 2 or 1 individual pop-ups that just convey one of those messages. So get ops from your browser. What does that mean? And that's it. Like, it's get ops from your browser with however cool we can make it look. With the call to action, it's a single click. You can't get lost in clicking 3 other things. If you click anything, it's going to get you to the target, which is to, the site. And so, yep, if you were to ever see a pop-up again, that hopefully it would be one of the other 3 versions. If there were. So, yeah, anyway, it's, yep, we don't have to convey it all to folks. The point is to get them interested in one aspect of this, to get them to click on it.
So out of the 3, like GitOps, Explore, and Design, which one do you think would be most intriguing for someone coming on to the website? And
it's either
one can really answer that, like, or is it just based on different things people are coming for? So it could be very relative.
The second and third. Explore all the projects. Learn and explore, deploy all the projects in a sandbox, in a playground. That's pretty enticing. It's pretty neat. Go to one place, get to learn them all, touch them all, deploy them all. That second message is pretty compelling. The third one is also quite intriguing. So design your cloud native infrastructure collaboratively, and you have mice moving around. It's pretty intriguing. People.
So maybe we could combine 2 and 3. Like explore all the projects and design collaboratively. So there's a lot of like experimenting. And then that could be like a pretty nice pop-up. And that's just one. But what about like discover the power of Meshry with the cloud native playground? Is Meshry the only important thing there, or do you have to have the other 2 things?
Meshry it's enough unto its own. Like there is actually the genesis of this particular request was about this. If you all that are on the call, if you go to a website and you're checking out a piece of software, a lot of times they'll have a demo of what the software is. And sometimes I think it's quite nice when you don't have to fill in the form to schedule a time to talk to a sales guy about, the particular piece of software that you want to use, that rather you just, and you don't want to necessarily take the time to download the software and install it and read the docs, but rather if they just have this live online demo button, yes, please, that me, I will click that. I'll go check it out real fast, and it takes me no time to install. So anyway, we have that capability. We have a demo site. We have a site that's always a Meshry instance that's always running, readily available from your browser. It's play.meshry.io. And what a major resource that is, and a great way to grease the wheels for someone to touch Meshry. So yes, it is enough that the message is just discover the power of Meshry. Click here to.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just saying that I think that's a really good way of, you kind of close the loop again over there, because you can say explore all CNCF projects, design infrastructure collaboratively, without having to go through the hassle of filling out a form, and that it's just live. So that's like, it's kind of like the punchline for one, like an additional thing to really talk about, because yeah, like most IO websites will insist on like a get started or like start demo. So you have to like fill out everything. So I think that's something that's competitively differentiating Meshry from other maybe similar, I don't know, playgrounds or just technologies. So I think that would be something cool to add as a message for this pop-up. That's all.
Alternatively, we could even have video playing in between, like this frame, which like explains something. That would be like the best explanation for a new user, but I don't know what the video will be about.
Yeah, basically we're trying to just get people to go use the Meshry playground. And so the video that's on play.meshry.io, it's a candidate, for what you're just saying, or a portion of it. Gaurav was just saying, time check. So if there was something of a video, maybe it's just like a snippet, like an animated GIF as a snippet of part of it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have something to work on. I'll look into it. While you're at it, what do you think about this? Let's take a minute. This is the intro of the teaser we're working on.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got some 3D happening.
Yeah.
I no doubt there's an intention for some awesome sound when it sort of smacks you in the face. It sort of
Yeah,
flies up.
exactly. Yeah, we'll do the sound at the end because I don't know what you like and what you don't. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Take a risk. Yeah, the word epic comes to mind. To the extent that helps with music choices.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't know about the star on the end. Maybe, or maybe not. But that's great. Yeah, thanks for showing early demos of works in progress. That's great. Nice high contrast background. Anyway, Gaurav, I'm just sort of waiting for you to interrupt and.
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. So next up, we have a quick call for volunteer for implementation of new Figma pages. So this designer page was made by Avantika and Riddick. So I think we are good to go and implement this. But before we do that, we will need a quick light mode image, light mode design for this. I guess Avantika suggested that she will be working on that, but I think it will be just a white background because this is again green and some gray over here. So Avantika would like to add something to it.
Yeah, I thought somebody had already made a light version on towards the right, perhaps. Yeah, is that?
No, that's different.
Not the left to the right.
This one.
No, one further. The light mode with the white background.
Yeah. It's missing the canvas background. The stars. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I think Shivam will be opening up some good first issues. So anyone can take up. You can take up in particular section or you could implement the whole. All right. So moving on next, Karan will be sharing, I guess. Karan, I think you can share the link of all these PR since you just need to show the approved and requesting reviews, right? Or would like to discuss anything over here?
Nothing for the approved PRs. Just wanted to see about the one with the changing the PNGs to the webp. So Shivam and Ayush, could you please help with the merge conflict? And also it would be better if we take a quick action with it because conflicts are arising in the PR multiple times. So when this get approved, so it would be great if we merge it right away. And other than that, the one with the no update. So there are two PRs which are actually required, but the contributors haven't incorporated the changes in that. I had a huddle with the aminos too. We discussed about how we can move further, and I asked him to showcase his changes in the meet. He's not available today. Maybe the exams are going on, so asked I've asked him in the Slack again. Let's wait for his reply.
All right. Thanks, Karan. So let's move to Ayush's topic on ad workflow. Ayush would like to discuss about this. We discussed
Yes,
about.
yes,
Okay.
I'm sharing this one. So assuming my screen is visible. So this peer, this peer is basically about adding a workflow, which will run as a cron job and like update all the JPG, PNG, other format images to .webp. First, we have like already had a peer which updated the images to webp, but like it's not a final solution. Would have to like always do this. So the better thing would we have to be is to have a workflow. So in this workflow, I have created 3 files. So basically, these 2 are scripts. One updates all the PNG, JPG images to the webp. The other one basically updates their references in the code base. And this third is a workflow. So this will run like every day. And so this is still in a draft state. Some little bit changes are still, I think, required, and some testing needs to be done before this can be merged. And like once we merge this PR on the layer file, we'll also need a similar workflow for the Migrate.io website.
Yeah, I mean, we have more than just the Migrate.io website. I know Karan brought that up earlier, but we want to get economies of scope from trying to do some of the same things across the rest of the sites. Why are we not, or are we reusing an existing GitHub action?
No, like
Why
this
not?
was like I tried to search for them, but like I got like the 1 or 2 which I got, they were written in Python. So
what?
So like I thought like maybe this was easier, but I can search for any like external also, like for external existing GitHub action.
GitHub action itself doesn't require, it doesn't matter what it's written in. It doesn't, you don't even need to know that. That's all abstracted from us. Perhaps now that I say all that, perhaps you're unaware as to how the actions run. And so I should phrase that a little more softly and say, yeah, hey, let's start with someone else. It's much more of a hassle for you to write it yourself. For us to maintain that, debug it, get it running well, have it cover the edge cases and so on, than it is to just reuse an existing one, assuming that there are any number of them out there. What they're running in doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, they could require to run in Windows or Mac OS, and we would still consider their use. They're not going to, but yeah. Did you try out any others?
No, actually, like I couldn't get any. I searched for like GitHub actions, but like the ones I searched for, like they didn't seem like good to me. So that's why I proceeded to write the script myself.
Yeah, the ones that you found were what?
Like there were some issues in that. Like I don't remember properly, but like I didn't found that like the proper.
Okay. You have to give specifics next time. Otherwise, I'll say, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next issue was like regarding migrating all the websites to Google Tag Manager. So I opened peers like on all the existing websites which were not already migrated. So like once these peers are being merged, like so maybe also Aditya also gave some feedback on this, so I'll incorporate it, and after that the migration will be complete. And so for the Machine Cloud, I'll also like install the Hotjar tool on this. Like this has been merged, so like I'll do it today only. And the last issue I had to discuss was like regarding the page indexing. So yeah, so like we have many page indexing issues, but like in the Google Search Console, but like I went through these pages, and the majority majority of the pages that we have here, we don't have a problem with them being not indexed, because either their URLs or their paths have changed. For example, if you look at this site, layer5.io blog getting started Machine CPL, it has its URL has changed, so it includes machine. So that's why it's showing it's showing a redirect, which is correct. It should show, and we don't need to index it, because the final URL which is being it's redirected to is already indexed. And similarly, there are some other
Well, Ayush, ideally, yep. So instead of ignoring the issue, why don't we go fix the root issue? Do you know how we would do that?
This is the problem, like, because if you go on the Search Console and if you just look at the page indexing, so there are 3 sections, like all known pages or submitted pages. So this all known pages include the data for all the pages like which were Google indexed at some point or the other. And so because we constantly keep changing the website, and so it keeps getting updated. So therefore in this section, like you will see so many. But what we should focus on is the all submitted pages one, which refers to the sitemap that we have uploaded. So this is the like the actual representation of the website.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I mean, they wouldn't include all known if it wasn't a representation. The all known is a representation. Google only allows you a certain amount of, I forget what it's called. They only crawl so many bits of your index anyway, which is where the priority tag comes in, which they may or may not be honoring anyway. But what I'm saying is, I think you bypassed my feedback, which was let's fix the root issue if it's within our control, and not ignore the issue. Because I think what you're proposing is that, hey, there's 2 pages. One of the canonical one is being indexed. This other reference that actually redirects is just causing us heartburn here. Let's click to ignore that one and leave the canonical one in place. That would achieve it's a myopic perspective about how to achieve, the task at hand. What we would ideally do is, if that link, the one that redirects, can you show it to everyone? Yeah. Just scroll down on your, ideally, what we would do is, if it's within our control, we go fix the root cause, which is if one of our pages is referencing a page that is no longer at that location, let's update our reference. No, problem solved. No need to tell Google Search Console to ignore that reference, and then go into the Yahoo website masters tool and do the same. And then into Bing's website to let's fix the root cause. Do you know, and have you looked for where the source of that hyperlink?
So these are because from what I've read is because these were Google basically had these links at one point of the time. That's why it keeps looking for them. It hasn't updated it yet. The problem is not ours. I was showing you a blog website, which was blog Machine CTL, and we have changed the web page.
It's a time check. Actually, you're not directly answering my question again, which is, did you look for that specific link? And so let's start there. Go see if you can hunt down that link that's potentially within our control in our property, and let's take the answer from there.
Okay.
Gaurav.
Sure. Thanks, Ayush. So we have just 2 minutes left. So Savio would like to quickly go over your items.
Yeah, those was just a discussion like I needed because those were the issues which were stale from like 2 to 3 months, and no one was assigned. I guess somewhere assigned, but they did not message back.
Oh, I
So
see.
if
So, so we need
can
issues
you
quarter on this thing. So Karan
yeah
is
just
here, so Karan can help with that.
okay fine I'll discuss again because we just can you talk about the second issue that I have added here? Third one, the UX one. Yeah.
Oh, I see. The issue says that we need a visual representation of this particular page, 3D layer 5 branded 3D book, like we have one for this community managers page. So we need a separate dedicated page and a representation for that. You can start up with on Figma, I guess.
This I still did not got. We need a 3D representation of that page, right?
Okay, I'm just taking a look at the issue again. So the community handbook has a number of pages which and is commonly referenced by community members. It would be nice to have a visual representation of handbook to be displayed on the pages. Like, okay, so we have a number of pages that's under the community handbook section, and that needs to be visually represented under this particular page. So this page needs an update with the reference to the particular items that are there in the handbook. Does that make sense,
Yeah.
or I'm missing something?
Yeah, I got it. I'll just have some like talk in the Slack too. Clear more doubts. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to get you to it's a it's a relatively straightforward item. If maybe we'll show you two more things and it'll be a little more clear in your mind. So under implementation, it says it suggests to you do two things: to create a graphic using elements from Layer 5's brand. So if any of you were to visit Layer 5 IO, the main page, at the bottom section has a book, and it is presented in a 3D, well, I don't know, it's like a 2D with perspective, maybe almost a 3D look. And so it's that book right there. It's just a flat image, but with some CSS applied to make it look like it's presented at an angle, sort of like a three-dimensional book almost. And so, yeah, I think just a similar goal is something like this. In the implementation section, it says to try to create a graphic that shows what might be the front cover of Layer 5's community handbook. The community handbook has actually that big fat link right there, contributor resources and handbook in blue. Yeah, so there's a collection of pages that's the handbook. It'd be nice if we just made up our own book cover for what this might be. There's a tool, if you go back to the issue in the second set of instructions, it says, hey, if you're having trouble figuring out some CSS, oh, here you go. And this is specifically for generating a book cover. So Savo, do you think you'll have additional questions in Slack, or do you have any now? You got it. Okay. Do you think you'll be successful? Are you hot to trot on it? My wife hates it when I say hot to trot. What do you think? Verbal feedback would be good, Savio, unless there's a crying baby in the background.
Yeah, there was some issue from my side. Yeah, I got it. So we have to make like a community handbook. I have visited that link that you had mentioned earlier. Yeah, so I'll go through it. I missed some of your points. I'll
once again watch the live stream, and yeah, comment on that PR.
All right. So there are a couple of items that we missed. That's on docs.mesh.io and on meshy.io. So we'll be covering those items next time in the meeting. So Karan, you message. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Lee.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask if we had a chance to meet Monsieur, who's on the call. I don't know if we did. So yeah, so there's a Monsieur. Are you on the call? Have you gotten a chance to introduce before? To say hi to everybody?
Hello, sir. Hi, everyone. I am Mansur. I'm basically a college student from NIT Leveler. Basically, the classmate of Shivam Sood, as you might be knowing him.
Yeah. Oh. You're not affiliated with that character Shivam Sood, are you? Oh no. Oh no, not that guy. Well, he's good. He's a heavyweight around here. I mean, he just got done merging a 3,000 change PR and handled it like a champ. It was Monsieur. Yeah. Nice to have you. It's good of you to jump in.
That's great.
Shivam hasn't scared everybody off just yet. That's just bad joke.
Cool. All right. So we are 5 minutes over. So we'll be covering rest of the items in next meeting. So thank you all for joining. We'll meet you next week, same time, same place. You can catch the recording of this live stream on Lay5 YouTube. So go and subscribe. All right. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining.
Gaurav.